Welcome back to the Mediocre Men podcast, episode 4. We've brought in a new friend. You can see me in the corner. This is Buster from Dave and Buster's. And before we start this episode, this brand new episode of the Mediocre Men podcast, a lot to get to. NBA Finals, Stanley Cup playoffs, Bryson DeChambeau winning the U.S. Open. We're going to jump to Mr. Anderson, who I believe has a few words to say to us in a different tone than the last few weeks.
I'm today.
You muted yourself really quickly. We couldn't hear it.
Yeah, I'm doing phenomenal tonight. I have a new piece of equipment in my hand right now that I'm speaking into. If you guys don't notice, my voice is a lot crisper. I don't sound as a person called me out on TikTok once said, I sound and look like I'm recording on an iPhone 5.
Someone really said that?
Yeah, it kind of hurt my feelings. So we've upgraded.
Owen.
Hey, we've upgraded.
Oh, and you went on a rant about how you hate the Masters. Where did you get the Masters hat from?
My brother-in-law.
I can't take you seriously with that. Anthony
No
Tino.
one can.
Anthony Tino, you have the same audio quality this week, but how are we today?
Yeah,
Oh,
good. How are you?
I think Anthony's doing great, and I think Anthony's the one that wants to take us into this first segment with the jersey that he's wearing. Anthony, we have a new 2024 World Champions, as they call it, Boston Celtics.
Makes sense.
I find that so weird that they say world champions.
So do I, because the World Champions are the people when like you're playing the Olympics, like you're competing against the world. This is it's the NBA. It's a little bit more consolidated into one league, but either way, they're calling themselves the 2024 World Champion Boston Celtics. Ended up defeating the Dallas Mavericks 4-1 in that series. I believe, Anthony, you predicted most of us predicted a 5-game series, except for myself, obviously. I was wrong, guys, just to preface before everybody gets on me. I was wrong. I picked Dallas in 7.
How was Kyrie's his
Performance?
His experience. His experience.
Wait, can we really quickly before we say this, Anthony, if while Tino's sitting there, if you don't mind just rattling off a list with me of guys on the Celtics who have the same number of rings as Kyrie now.
I can name Brown.
We'll go back and forth. We'll go back and forth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kristaps.
Brown.
Tatum. We'll give Tatum.
White.
Oh, not Drew Holiday because he's got 2. Sam Hauser.
Luke Cornett.
Peyton Pritchard.
I don't remember his first name, but Brissett. O'Shea.
Yeah,
Brissett?
O'Shea. Yep, that's a good one. J.D. Davidson's got a ring. Do you see that picture, Tino?
Jared Walsh.
Jordan, but Peyton Pritchard's also in there.
Who else is there? Oh, my boy Xavier Tillman.
There was another guy. Jared Springer also has one.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You guys are forgetting Porzingis and Al Horford.
No, I said Porzingis. I thought we said Al, but I guess we didn't say Al.
Oh.
You did not say Al Horford, and that's probably the most important. That's the only guy I'm really happy for. I'll be honest. Him and Jaylen Brown.
You're not. Wait. You're not happy for Peyton Pritchard?
No, I'm happy for Peyton Pritchard. Listen. I'm happy for a lot of them. I want to get into like the series itself. I mean, we both, Anthony, myself, and all 4 of us on the last podcast said that Dallas would come in, win Game 4. They won it handedly. Boston came out a different team after that Game 4 loss, as I think we all expected. There was no shot they were going to play poorly after probably playing about as bad as they possibly could have played in Game 4. They played very well on defense. Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum's playmaking was phenomenal. Brown stepped up with his scoring as always, dropping, I think it was 21 20.
It was low 20s.
It was low 20s that he dropped, I believe. I think he had 21 in Game 5.
Kyrie scoring less than 15 points in Boston yet again.
Yeah, that again. He waited
for them to walk out. Sorry, he waited for them to walk off the court. We can't forget that. Come on, that's like 10 points right there.
What a weird guy. What a weirdo.
He tapped Jason Kidd on the shoulder as if to say, "It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. You're the player. You're not the coach."
He's a little bit of a weird guy, but I think that I vastly underestimated the impact that Boston has on him, and I guess just the demons that he's fighting whenever he steps back into that arena. I don't know. Like, I think maybe because he didn't do the sage this time, it might have hurt him or whatever. But Yeah, Boston was the better team, the team that clearly deserved to win, and a lot of credit to the front office up there in Boston for doing what they've done.
Speaking of front office, I want to bring up a question. Who do we think deserves more credit as a GM, Brad Stevens or Danny Ainge? Danny Ainge bringing in making that massive trade, Tatum, Brown, and then you have Brad Stevens bringing in Porzingis and Drew and White.
You want to go first, Tino?
No, you go first.
I think it's pretty obvious it's Brad Stevens. And okay, there's 2 points. A, like there's the obvious point. It's that they didn't win under Danny Ainge, and Brad Stevens brought in the pieces like Derek White, Drew Holiday. He re-signed out. He got back Al Horford from the Sixers. Oh no, from the Thunder.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
That's true.
yes,
Yeah.
From the Thunder, he brought him back in. He like built. I think just because you build pieces around these two, like Danny Ainge did a good job. But my big point is that Danny Ainge did not know that he was going to get Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. He just knew he was getting these picks from Brooklyn. But if I'm not mistaken, he didn't know where they were going to fall, what they were going to be. Also, Peyton Pritchard, I believe, was the other pick, if I'm not mistaken on that one. But
Yeah, it was late 20s.
yeah, but you can't. It's a good trade in hindsight, but when you're trading away Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, two of the guys that built your program, I guess, and were the face of your program for years, you're going to get a lot of flack for that. And I think people are overlooking the fact that trade happened. He didn't know what he was going to get. He got super lucky that the Knicks just suck. So I think it's pretty obvious. It's Brad Stevens. Sorry, Tino, you took the ISO right as I wrapped it.
Yeah, that's my bad. But I think, I think it's 100% Brad Stevens to answer your question, Anthony. I agree with Ben on this. That listen, Danny Ainge made a great move to acquire a lot of draft capital and assets in the draft. But again, he didn't know where the picks were going to fall. There was no control over that. That was all based on how bad Brooklyn was, and Brooklyn was pretty damn bad. But when you talk about why they won this championship, obviously Tatum and Brown are a large component to that. But they couldn't win with the two of them for a while. There was a lot of humps to go over. Getting Drew Holiday, Derek White was there last year. Like Derek White had already been here, and he got them very close to getting to the finals last year. Drew Holiday, I think, was the main piece, and Porzingis was a part of it as well too. But if I'm putting one, like just one move that Brad Stevens made, it's the Drew Holiday trade. That's a guy who has NBA Finals experience. He's a proven winner. He's the best defensive guard in the NBA, better than Derek White, despite how good Derek White is at that defense. Drew Holiday is a better defender. He's a proven leader, a guy that doesn't have to have the ball in his hands to make plays and to impact the game in a positive manner. He's a great rebounder, does all the nitty-gritty little things that you need a guy to do in order to win a basketball game that superstars might not necessarily always do. So I think because of just the Drew Holiday move alone, not even factoring in anything else, that one move, Brad Stevens, I think deserves more credit for that one move alone, in my opinion.
Yeah, you guys said it perfectly. I was going to slap one of you guys as you said Danny Ainge, to be honest.
Yeah, and listen, you can, there's an art, Danny Ainge didn't do a bad job, but he didn't really, because again, Marcus Smart was already a piece that was there. He was drafted in 2013, I believe it was 2014, but out of Oklahoma State. Yeah, he was like a top set. I think Danny Ainge was the GM when Marcus Smart got drafted, but then Marcus Smart ended up getting moved out because Brad Stevens realized, listen, he was a good cornerstone. He was a cornerstone to the franchise, but if they wanted to win a championship, they needed to take a kind of a next step. And that massive 3-team trade where they sent him to Memphis was kind of the tough choice that you had to make to get better as a team and to ultimately go win that championship. And that's what Brad Stevens was willing to do.
I also think it's Brad because, to be honest, I don't think Danny Ainge would have made that trade. He always loves keeping his first-round picks. He loves keeping the team together. So, Brad.
I think the bigger trade, obviously people liked Marcus Smart and he's the defensive player of the year for a reason. I think the bigger trade was sending Robert Williams away because you know what you're going to get out of Marcus Smart every night, but you don't know what Robert Williams, when he's healthy, is going to bring you. So when you say, screw it, we're done with him, we're going to send him away to Portland. I think was Grant Williams in that trade too? It was the two of them, right?
No, he went to Dallas. It was just
Grant,
he was just a
Grant wasn't part
there was a two. He went with someone else though, right?
Malcolm Brogdon.
That's another.
Yeah, I didn't even. I fully forgot about him too. Jeez.
But I would say that Robert Williams leaving was the biggest piece because obviously he could have thrown for Kristaps, but you're trading away a guy that you could arguably build a team around, and he could be a third. I would say he'd be a third option at best, but he's still a big option. And you're clearing in the he didn't have like a big impact in the season, but if Robert Williams is there and you have Grant Williams still there, Sam Hauser does not play, and I don't know how good they do without Sam Hauser in the playoffs in the latter part of that run. Because when you needed him, he was there.
He was there, and he shot the ball. He had one rough stretch against Indiana where he wasn't making shots, but other than that, in the Cleveland series, in the Miami series, and in this series against Dallas, stepped up big, shooting the ball from the corner and from the wing, from the corner. Was able to make some defensive plays in terms of just like little deflections, things like that, just hustle plays on the defensive side of the ball that really benefited Boston in the long run. Obviously, now winning the championship. I want to talk about Jaylen Brown, though, because I personally am so happy he won Finals MVP. Anthony's got the jersey on. I was shocked when I saw that, I think it was 10:07, the betting odds for Finals MVP. Tatum was at -165 and Brown was at -110.
It's because he had a good game 5. It's because
that's all it was.
That's all it was.
He had a good game 5. Yeah, but if you're talking about a Finals MVP, that shouldn't push the odds that much. Jaylen Brown was the best.
Oh yeah, I agree.
I think I would still argue that Tatum had a bigger impact on the series as a whole. Maybe he wasn't the better player, but I think impact wise, he had a way bigger impact than Jaylen Brown. Because
why?
Because he couldn't shoot, and that's fair. There's no argument for that. He couldn't shoot in the first few games. But you still had to defend him as if he could shoot. He was still able to drive in. But he was also way better passing. Defensively, he was way better too. You also didn't have to.
Whoa! I don't know about defensively.
Jaylen Brown was Brown was better.
Dude, there were so many times that Doncic just blew right by Tatum. I was like, dude, what are you doing?
By better, I mean himself. He was better than himself.
Okay,
not better than Jaylen Brown.
Okay,
not better than Jaylen Brown. But because he was better in himself, they're able to throw him on Luka. Yeah, he got blown past a few times. But you can give Jaylen Brown a break and don't have to throw him on Luka the whole time and just exhaust him. So I think he had a bigger impact. I'm not saying he's the better player in the series, but impact-wise and the way he was able to move the ball, I think he had a better – I don't think that deserves MVP. I think he definitely had a really good shout for it, but I don't think he deserved it impact-wise. If that makes sense.
No, that's fair. Anthony, and I will say what Ben just said. Tatum's playmaking improved drastically from the last time we saw him in the finals to this time because he was taking what the defense gave him. And granted, he was seeing a lot of double and triple teams in the first couple games especially. But I think that Jaylen Brown, combined with his efficiency, the way that he was able to score the basketball, and the fact that he also defensively, I think he stepped up miles ahead of what we saw in the previous years with Jaylen Brown. We just had 2 Owens on the screen at one time.
That's on me. That's on me.
You're all good, bro. All good. But Jaylen Brown, I think the defense that he displayed, the intensity that he showed at times, especially in Game 5, guarding Luka well past the perimeter, like beyond the point of where Luka wasn't shooting from there. But it didn't matter to Jaylen Brown. He was getting out there, getting low in his defensive stance, and he was showing the intensity and being the leader that Boston needed. So I think Jaylen Brown fully deserved it. And going into next year, talking about best players, Anthony and Ben, I think you could make an argument that he's better than Jason Tatum going into next year. I think that's a fair argument to have.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
You don't think so?
If you said that before
Game 5,
yeah.
I think that Game 5 showed that Tatum is still a better player. I think he's a better shooter than Brown is. But I think that Game 5 just showed that he's still like a notch ahead of Jaylen Brown. He's better playmaker, and I think he's still a better shooter than Jaylen Brown is.
If you throw Jaylen Brown into the coverage that Tatum has, he doesn't do the same thing. He'll still try to force it, and he's not gonna.
You don't know that yet.
I just don't think he has the playmaking ability in him. I think you could see it from Tatum. I don't think you can see it from Jaylen Brown.
That's fair.
So where would we put Jaylen Brown then heading into next year?
He's still there.
Where do we put Tatum in the top 7? Probably.
Yeah, I wouldn't say top 5. No, I wouldn't say top 5. I probably
top 7.
Shea, Luka,
Jokic,
Anthony Edwards.
No, Anthony Edwards is not better than Brown and Tatum. Not yet.
I put him on 5. I'm not in that order. Not in that order. I'm just saying if there's 5 guys that are in that conversation.
Oh, okay.
If you're saying the top 5,
Okay.
I would put Anthony Edwards in there and I'd throw Tatum in there.
So you think Tatum's top 5?
I'd say he's top 5. I think that's pretty fair.
Could we say Jaylen Brown's top 10 at this point?
I would say top 15.
Yeah.
Top 15?
As much as I love Brown, I think he's top 15, right?
Well,
I think you need to see another year of his dominance to like put him into that top 10 category.
Who right now off that list are we missing? I mean, I would
Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is there,
but you don't know what he's gonna do. He's hurt. He's been hurt.
No, but when he's healthy, he's arguably the most dominant.
Yeah.
Dude,
by that argument,
arguably,
do you put LeBron in there by that argument?
No, not anymore.
What do you mean by that argument? What is that?
Because if you're saying when he's at his like healthiest and at his best,
LeBron is still at his best. He had his best 3-point shooting. LeBron had his best 3-point shooting season of his career.
So would you put LeBron in the top 10 right now over Jaylen Brown?
Yes.
I think they're at the same level right now.
Yeah,
I think LeBron and Brown are the same level right now. That's why I think LeBron is probably at the end of the top 10, and I think Jaylen Brown is probably at the beginning of the top 15. So I'll say like Brown is like at 11 or 12 right now, and LeBron's at like 10, and Tatum is at like 6, 7.
Before we move on to the U.S. Open, I wanted to mention something else too, because this was the first time in all, I believe it's 7 occasions because it was Tim Duncan, Jokic, LeBron did it 4 times, and Jason Tatum to lead their team in points, assists, rebounds in the finals. And Tatum is the only one out of all of those to not win Finals MVP. The only player to lead in every category and not win Finals MVP. What do you guys think about that?
In all the playoffs or all the finals, you said?
Like finals, like in the final series itself. So like LeBron did it 4 times in all 4 titles that he's won. Jokic did it last year, and Tim Duncan did it. So Tatum is the only person to lead his team in a final series in points, assists, rebounds, and not to win Finals MVP. What do you guys think about that?
I think he got snubbed. I think if you go in that Celtics locker room, that whole locker room would say that he should have deserved it.
No, everybody goes around what Brown said. Brown's the leader of that team. Everyone would say that Brown deserves it.
No, but I think if you went up to them one-on-one and were like, who do you think won it? They would all say Tatum.
See
the way they reacted to him.
See, you said Tatum had a bigger impact. I think Brown had a way bigger impact in that finals. Not just like if you're taking out the playmaking, yeah. But I just think the defense, how the way he played defense and the way that he took over games, especially going to the rim, I think he was the most impactful player.
That and the second half he had against Dallas it was game 3.
Yes.
Tatum was going off in the first half. Fine, we'll give it to him. Jaylen Brown was the closer in that game. It was not Jason Tatum. It was Jaylen Brown. In game 3? Can
we all agree that if Kristaps was healthy, he would have won it? If he played all 5 games.
You said this last time. I don't know if
I don't know. You can't. I don't know.
You can't say that. It was.
If you're going off of what we saw in the first 2 games, he wins it.
Yeah, but that's if you're going off.
You don't know though.
Yeah, you can't say that. I think Jaylen Brown is still listen, you could say if Drew Holiday continued to play the way he did in the first couple games, Drew Holiday could have won.
I think he was up there for it.
I think Drew Holiday would, if like Kristaps and Drew Holiday were, if Kristaps was healthy, I think Drew Holiday had a better shot of getting it than Kristaps.
I think you make this point that. And also to throw in there, Magic Johnson was also a player that led his team in points, rebounds, and assists and won a Finals MVP. But regardless, it was Tatum's the only one who hasn't won a Finals MVP while doing that. But that's besides the point. This was one of the few times that we've seen a team this good where the supposed number 1 player, most people would say is Jason Tatum, did not have to play that well to be able to win the series. We can agree on that.
Yeah.
Tatum could have not played well in any of the games, and they probably still would have won this series in 6. So if your best player doesn't have to play that well, and he doesn't play that well throughout the entire series, then he shouldn't win Finals MVP. Jaylen Brown was the better player. But you gotta leave it at that.
Before we go to do you have one more thing to say, Ben?
No, you go first. I'll go after you because I was going to throw an audible.
Okay, I was going to say before we go to the U.S. Open, I was reading. I'm going to ask you the question and then I'm going to say something. Do you think because of with this finals, do you think Brown and Tatum automatically get their jersey retired with the Celtics? Because you haven't seen a dominant finals run since the Golden State with Kevin Durant and Steph. There was only 3 teams ever to lose 3 games or less in the final in a whole playoff run. and that was Shaq and Kobe, Kevin Durant, Steph, and then Tatum and Brown. So do you think that them two already get their jerseys retired with the Celtics?
If they don't win, if they do nothing else, you mean? Like if
Right now. Don't think of the future. Just think right now.
Yes.
I think.
I mean,
I'll
the
say
way that the Celtics retire jerseys is like me going up to the ice cream counter and saying, "I'd like vanilla." And they
That's
say,
true. That's true. That's true.
I mean, Blake Griffin wore 92.
That's true. I don't know. I just think that they already cemented themselves in the Celtics retired jerseys.
I agree with that. I agree. I think they right now. I'd give them that. I'd give them the retired jerseys. What were you gonna say, Ben?
I'm gonna throw a quick audible. We're gonna go to the U.S. Open right after this. Everyone, Owen, you can jump in on this too. 1-word answers. This morning it came out that Chauncey Williams was kicked out. I guess the ownership decided that he wasn't good enough for the Pistons job, so he was fired with 5 years. The
Monty Williams.
Oh,
Monty.
Monty. Okay.
5 years, $65 million left on the deal. The question, we're going to go around the Zoom recording really quickly. Where does he go next? Because he deserves the job in the NBA.
Oh, God.
Anthony.
Hold on. Dude, you got to give me a minute.
I'll go first. I think he should go to the Lakers.
I was gonna say Lakers.
Yeah.
I say Lakers. Oh, and who do you think? Tough decision for the bottom boys here.
I know. I think I'm gonna go with the Cavaliers.
The Cleveland Cavaliers.
They do need a coach.
Brooklyn's also a good option too.
I was thinking Brooklyn. I'm
Brooklyn's a good option.
gonna throw a curveball. I'm gonna
I know what
say
I'm talking about.
I'm gonna say the Milwaukee Bucks.
Wow. Ooh.
Doc just got there.
Yeah,
So
they could. No, but Doc could go. You never know. Listen, coaching positions nowadays, the coach is the first one to go. If things aren't going right, the coach is the first one to blame. Even if he's not at fault, he's to blame automatically.
Yeah, he wasn't at fault for the Pistons, but we'll move on. It also is reported that JJ Redick is about to accept the Lakers job. So we're most likely wrong.
God.
Yeah, it came out this morning too that he's pretty much. It seemed like he was pretty much there.
Okay,
so that'll be fun. But let's continue with this winning theme. Bryson DeChambeau wins the U.S. Open. He shot -6.
He won me $450.
He's an up and down on the 18th hole with a 50-yard sand trap shot, which he said is probably the hardest shot of his career. Gets it within three feet. I think it's safe to say. Oh, and you know the exact yardage. What is it?
I think it was 4 feet.
4 feet. Drains a putt, and it's probably one of the most exciting U.S. Opens we've seen in a long time.
Before we get into it, I just want to say Anthony and I were spot on.
We all were spot on. We all were spot on.
What do you mean? You said Tony Finau. What are you talking about?
He got fifth.
And then
Doesn't matter.
Tino was spot on too.
Tino was more spot on than you were, Ben.
I was gonna say everybody was like clowning me. I gotta get a little credit.
I did. Hey, hand of accountability. I didn't clown.
I'm gonna clown on you still. He missed a 3-foot putt to tie. So
okay, but I picked him to win, and he was right there. So come on, and I gotta get some credit.
Yeah, but you picked the guy who backed out all the other tournaments. People are paying money to see him play.
Okay, zip it. Owen, continue.
Owen, start. Go ahead.
Nah, I think Bryson winning this. Like, he's the people's golfer right now. I love Bryson DeChambeau. I love that man. I think everyone was clowning on him for the whole YouTube thing. But I think the whole YouTube thing made him more, like, humble. Made him more, like, personable with his fans. Because after he won that, he was – the guy is so nice. He didn't even make it about himself. He just won. For him, it's, like, getting to that point was probably, like, the biggest thing for him. And he got to that point, and it wasn't all just about him. It was about, like, his team, his parents, and then after he gave like his post-round like speech, he literally went out. He invited all of the what do you call them, greenskeepers at Pinehurst. He invited all of them to an after party because he wanted to thank them one-on-one for the conditions of the course. He's just a stand-up guy.
He let all the fans touch the trophy also.
And then he went back to like the house he was staying at in Pinehurst, and he had all of the people that were in the neighboring houses go up and touch the trophy. It was like 12 o'clock at night, and this guy is doing that. Like, who is this guy? But it's insane. It's insane. He's like, I don't think any golfer deserved to win more than him in that moment. Like, I think from like day one, it was set up for. I'm not going to say it was set up for him, but that course complemented his style of play so well that it was just like he clicked. And even when he made mistakes, he only made like a couple mistakes on the final round, but then he clawed his way back up. I think even if Rory didn't miss that putt, I think there would have been playoff holes, and then Rory would have like eventually caved. He was just on that like trajectory, and then Bryson was just up. But I mean, I don't know. I'm glad he won. I wish I put money on it.
I did.
Because if I gave you like $50, I think you put 50 on it, right?
I put 50 on it, won 450. You would have won 450 if you bet 50.
Yeah, I should have just Venmoed you like $50. I should have done it. It was so dumb of me not to do, but that's besides the point. What do you guys have to say about it? I know Anthony has something to say about it.
I do. Oh, I do.
Well, you like Bryson DeChambeau. So
I love DeChambeau. He's my favorite. He's my favorite golfer. I have a question. I want to do a question. Do we think if Bryson was still in the PGA, do we think he would be having a better run than Scottie Scheffler is having right now? Because right now, Scottie Scheffler is the best golfer. But where's his competition in the PGA? You always see names we never heard of in the top 10, top 15. So I think if DeChambeau was in the PGA right now, I think he would be either on the same pace or on a better run than Scottie Scheffler is right now, because he's playing some of the best golf we've seen in a while. He shot a 59 last year. He's been in the top 10 on all three majors so far, and I think if he gets top 10 at the British Open, he's one of like the only golfers to ever do that.
I think he would give Scotty like a run for his money on most tournaments. I think he's like, I say I would need to see a little bit more from him. Only be like, and I'm not even like that when it comes to like the live PGA thing. I know Ben is. I'm not even like that. But like if he was on tour, based on what I've seen right now, he would be like a second, but he would rival Scotty very well. Like they would be like neck and neck. So it's like they would be. I think they'd be borderline interchangeable.
Do we think we're giving him too much credit?
No, not at all.
No.
I don't know.
He's been in the top 10 of all the majors so far and won one of them.
Hold on.
What do we?
You guys keep talking. I'm just gonna pull up a stat.
Personally, I think he'd be on a better run than Scottie Scheffler.
Thank you, Tino.
I agree. Because I think he's a better golfer than Scottie Scheffler.
I don't know if I would go that far, but I think the way he's playing right now.
So the three majors of this year, the Masters, he tied sixth.
You read me the stat like an hour ago.
The PGA, he was second, tied second. Oh no, he was just second. I don't mean tied second. U.S. Open, he was first.
What did Scotty do? Do you know? I know he won the Masters. He went +9 in the U.S. Open.
He was first, tied 8.
But they went +9.
Tied 41st.
So technically in the majors, Bryson's doing better than Scottie Scheffler is.
Yeah. I think Scotty's like on tour. I think his winning is like. I don't even know. I think Bryson would. Like I said, I think he'd be like a close rival. I think in the majors he would give him like the most run for his money, and then I think on like the bigger tournaments on tour, he would also show up. But then you also never know. I mean, he also probably has a lot of motivation on live right now to be better than half of these guys that are on the tour that are playing in these majors. Because he has, I mean, the guy has something to prove.
He did say that his teammates hold him more accountable than ever on live. Like the guy, like whoever's on the crushers, like they're the ones who are being like, you need to pick it up. Like you're not playing well. which is probably what he needed. I will say if he was on the PGA Tour, Scotty wouldn't have a run that he's on right now because I think Bryson would intermingle little wins. Like if we're saying Scotty's run of dominance, it's because he just keeps winning and winning. I don't think he has he's still better than Bryson. I think that's like a very fair argument.
Yeah,
But he doesn't have a streak because Bryson like jumps into it every once in a while.
They would be the best two golfers in the PGA if they were both in it.
Yep.
We'll see next year because the PGA and Liv are coming together. So
I don't know though because they've said that happened.
It's confirmed. It's confirmed. The top 15 PGA events, Liv players get to go and play with that, and then the PGA is getting 3 or 4 teams into Liv.
Who's that Liv team gonna be?
I bet Scotty's gonna be a captain. Rory's gonna be a captain.
Imagine JT, Jordan Spieth,
Ricky Fowler,
dude. That would be the most watched group ever.
And then they give him Bubba.
Bro, no, and then they make Tiger their captain. Dude,
you think he'd do that though?
Tiger?
That would be insane.
Matters how much money you're giving him.
I think he does it. I think because he thinks they're his kids. I think he does it.
I think Tiger's almost done. I think he's retiring soon.
No, hold on. I'm like the quick thing. This morning it came out that the PGA gave him full permission to play in only majors. Like it was confirmed this morning. I saw it. I don't know if it's old or not. I saw it this morning on Instagram, so don't quote me. But I think it's confirmed that he's allowed to just play majors and he doesn't have to compete anywhere else.
I thought that was that was happening this year, regardless. Apart from his tournament, like the Payne's Valley one. He's obviously playing that, but
and here's my thing. How did Bryson? Because I've been wondering about this for a while. Because I know you made a TikTok about it this morning. How does Bryce, I think it was yesterday morning? How does Bryson DeChambeau not make the Olympic team for USA?
Because the golf world ranking is fake, and I don't like it.
I agree.
It's so fake. How do you have Let me pull up my stats again.
Okay,
Wyndham Clark, the Masters, cut. PGA Championship, cut. The U.S. Open, tied 56. He barely made the cut at the U.S. Open because everyone was shooting so high. So I made a TikTok about this. So if anyone's watching from TikTok, don't come at me. I know what I'm talking about, okay? Do not tell me that I didn't say something when I literally said in the TikTok, if we're talking about world golf rankings, Wyndham Clark is on the list because of just the whole point system that comes with playing on the PGA Tour. I understand that. What I'm talking about is when it comes to major wins, the biggest winnings in golf, Bryson DeChambeau has absolutely killed Wyndham Clark in that section. And I think he was I forget, I knew his ranking this morning, but I think he was outside of top 10. Actually, no, he's still out. What's Bryson at right now?
Dude, he's in the 60s.
No, he's probably in the 20s.
No, dude, the golfer rankings are stupid.
They're dumb. They're dumb. How do you have is Wyndham Clark at 4 or is he at 2?
Wyndham's at he dropped to 5.
So what
Bryson moved up to 10th.
See, that's so dumb.
So yeah, I don't know how he besides for Scotty, he's the best player in the world right now. I don't know why we would send Wyndham Clark.
It's because he won the U.S. Open. The PGA?
He won the U.S. Open last year.
Yeah.
What else has he done apart from that?
I think he's won only one other smaller tournament.
His caddy's sponsored by Bob Sports.
But
no hate, and I hope he does well. But that's not deserved.
But it's all because Sam was in Liv. That's all it is. So,
sorry, you can talk.
So then the only question is, who else would you take instead of Wyndham Clark? If it's just PGA players, because it's only PGA players get to go for USA, who would go instead of Wyndham Clark? I think it is Wyndham Clark.
You could throw Cantlay in there if you really wanted to.
That's true. You could do Cantlay.
Yeah. He's not wrong.
Or who? Who's the second name you said?
Sahith.
Sahith Theegala.
It
That's
would be
true.
those two, or
Yeah.
Tony, or I'd throw the three of them. One of them I would send.
Wyndham Clark just doesn't mesh well with that group.
No.
He really doesn't.
Just a fact. Owen, we talked about the Tiger Woods thing a few minutes ago. I just looked it up. Basically, he's getting a lifetime exemption, like a sponsors event. So like every tour event, they give like sponsors exemptions for the people at home who don't know. So people get invited to play and they don't really have to qualify. They can just get sent right into the field. So Tiger got a once in a lifetime exemption on like a sponsor. Sorry. Let me read this. The PGA Tour created a special sponsor exemption because Tiger won 82 events on tour, and they based it on his exceptional lifetime achievement. So he can play in the 8 signature events, and he'll get like increased prize money and FedEx Cup points because he's playing in those ones. So he'll probably only play in the majors, but he has the opportunity to play in the Travelers,
The Players,
What are the other two?
Arnold Palmer,
Yeah,
and is it the Rocket Mortgage?
probably.
I think it's
Or
the-
it's or
oh, or it's the Wells Fargo or the Waste Management.
yeah, it's probably it might be the Waste Management. I don't know, but he also most likely has exemptions to all of these other events because he's won them. So it doesn't really do much, but in like 5 years when he wants to play and his exemptions might all run out, he'll have something. So fact check.
Oh, and how do you expect this team to perform though? In the Olympics, like just despite the fact that you don't think Wyndham Clark should have gotten there, do you still expect a high level performance from USA?
Yeah, I think they'll. I'm hoping they win. I haven't seen the other teams. But the other teams are pretty stacked. I'm not gonna lie.
Last year it was just like ones. Everyone played by themselves. Are they doing ones and then like groups together, or do we know what it is?
I don't know. I'm looking
guessing
at the
it's
other
that.
teams right now.
I'm guessing it's probably like
John
the Ryder
Rahm.
Cup, no?
John Rahm is for Spain. I know he's for Spain.
Oh, thank God. Oh, Great Britain's pretty good.
I was gonna say I bet England would probably give USA a run for their money.
Fleetwood and Fitzpatrick.
Oh, it's almost like sorry. Let me make a callback right here. It's almost like when I said Tommy Fleetwood for my Olympic team, you insulted me.
Because
just
you
a
had
random
guys on
better
the board.
player.
No.
No,
What did I say? I said he turns up in group settings, and that's a group. And
That's true.
That's a group
He
setting.
does. He does do that.
Jason
So,
Day is
in the
for
Ryder
Australia,
Cup.
by the way, in case anyone was
Stop.
wondering.
I
talking.
don't care. I don't care.
It's literally Jason Day, Minwoo Lee.
Minwoo, hey, watch out for Minwoo.
I love the guy, but
Is our sweet prince
Cam
playing for
Smith.
Canada?
Oh,
That's a good team.
that's a good team.
Is he in this?
Wait, that's so weird. That's so weird that DeChambeau didn't make the team.
isn't it?
That's
Patrick Rogers is not in there for Canada, in case anyone was wondering.
Oh, I really thought he was going to catch his stride in that.
Batty putts, man.
Patty Putz takes off in the Olympics.
Oh, I think you should explain the story.
So quick little story. 3 years ago this week. So this week is the Travelers Championship in Connecticut. So 3 years ago, 2021, Ben and Anthony went on the Thursday. I went on the Sunday with them. We get there. I was hyped. I got to see Phil Mickelson. I love Phil Mickelson. He's my favorite golfer of all time. So we get there really early, and we watch Phil on the range, and then he's ready to go out for his round. And he's paired with this really cool cat, this really rad guy. His name is Patrick Rogers. This guy had no people supporting him. Like, I feel so bad, but like, he must have been far from home because this guy had no one. So, being the good guys we are, us being the mediocre men, we helped a brother out. We were there cheering him on, and he wasn't. I can't remember if he's doing the best putting. I don't think he really was, but I think that's how the nickname Patty Putz came to fruition. He was just terrible at putting that day, but cool that he was with Phil.
Who was the other guy we nicknamed? What was it? Big Dick. What was his name?
Rick.
Big Dick.
No.
No.
It was Kramer. It was
Kramer.
No, it was. No, it wasn't. It was Kremher Big Cock.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
I would like to
that,
say
that year there was an continue.
I was just gonna say Pat Rogers didn't make a single putt, but if there's one thing I can tell you, it's that every time he sent that ball towards the cup, I'd yell, "There you go, Patty Putts!"
Man, you guys are killing it with the nicknames over there, huh?
I think another thing to call out from that morning was Phil Mickelson walked right by me, and you would think that when you see like your favorite athlete or something like that, you would say something to them. I stood there and stared at him.
Yeah, me
Like
and Ben were the one who talked to him. I yelled out how I loved him, and Ben yelled out, "Oh, that's cute," and he laughed at us, and you didn't say anything to the guy.
Yeah, but the best part of that story
I
is
was starstruck.
Sorry, Alan.
No, continue. That's all I had to say. I was starstruck.
Oh, the best part of that story is you go, Phil, I love you. And he goes, thanks, man. I go, that was cute. And he starts laughing up to the tee box, and he's kind of like snickering as he's teeing off. And then he just shanks.
He did. It was a par 3. I remember that.
And I will stand to it this day that I made Phil Mickelson shank a shot. But I've never seen me and Anthony run away faster than in that moment to not get caught in his wrath.
Man, you guys are out here distracting pro golfers, man. It's fucking wild.
I would like to ask one last thing, and this is completely off topic. I went to go pull up a picture of Pat Rogers to show on the webcam, and I just want to know who looked up Sabrina Carpenter on the Mediocre Men Instagram.
yeah, that was me. Hand of accountability. That was me.
Mr. Anderson. Enough with this hand of accountability. What are you doing?
Why? 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 On your own account.
So a little background story.
Background. Here we go. I'm getting the ISO cam. Go on the ISO cam.
This is like a 30-second background story. So I was at work, and then I was talking to our buddy Kendrick. Shout out to Kendrick. And I merely said to him, isn't Sabrina Carpenter really attractive? And then he goes, she's mid. So I go, no, she's not. So then I went to her Instagram, and I thought I was on my Instagram. and then I didn't realize I was looking up on our Instagram until I went back on Instagram later that day, and I realized I was still logged into our account. And then I thought it was so funny, I just left it.
What a guy, Mr. Anderson.
Like I said, hand of accountability.
Hand up accountability. Can I just say though, Anthony, there's somebody else who I think needs to have some hand up accountability, and it's going to be a random transition. That's Sergei Bobrovsky. The dude has allowed 9 goals in just 2 games. Meanwhile, the Panthers as a whole have allowed 13 goals in the span of 2 games against the Oilers. Anthony, what the hell is going wrong in Florida? Because they've really not played that well in these last two Stanley Cup final games.
I mean, Bobrovsky's a very leaky goalie. You even saw it during the Bruins series that they played against them. But I don't blame it all on Bobrovsky. Yeah, he let up a couple soft goals last game and 2 games before that. I really blame the way that they're not playing their style of hockey, especially their forecheck. They're not forechecking at all. They're letting Edmonton get out of the zone really, really easily. And I think you can't do that against an Oilers team because they are more skilled, I think, than Florida is. But I don't know what is wrong with Florida. I do have them winning in Game 6, but I don't know what's happened to them. They're not forechecking like they used to.
They're 100% more skilled, or the Oilers are 100% more skilled than Florida is. We talked about this in the last episode, that Florida's style of hockey is brash. It's physicality. It's hitting the other team and not allowing them to utilize that skill. So you see what Connor McDavid's doing now. He's at 4 points in the last 2 games, 1 goal, 3 assists in Game 4, and then 2 goals and 2 assists in Game 5. McDavid has been on a tear in these last couple games.
He's only 3 points away from beating Gretzky's record for most points in the NHL playoff series.
And he's the last person that you want to allow to get going in a series, no matter if you're up 3-0 or not. You don't want to give him any momentum because the minute he gets momentum, his team gets momentum because he creates everything for that offense. For Draisaitl, for Hyman, whoever it is, he creates pretty much all of it. So if McDavid keeps riding out this hot streak and Bobrovsky keeps playing a little shaky and the Panthers aren't laying out that physicality they tend to do, then this could spell trouble in a hurry for the Panthers. I mean, listen, losing 2 straight is already not great, but now going back to Edmonton, I think you got to close this one out because if you go to a game 7 against them, even though you're home, all of the pressure is on you because we know in ice hockey, home ice is not that important comparatively to other sports like basketball especially. So you got to close them out in Edmonton because if you go back to Florida, I think all the momentum is with Edmonton and all of the pressure is on the Panthers.
Trust me, I know. Game 7 last year.
Yeah, game 7 last year. Yeah. Ben, what are you laughing about over there? You're giggling while you're muted. What are you laughing about?
We're just talking about how preposterous this whole thing is.
I'm just watching Owen.
Preposterous about what?
He keeps going like this.
He likes the mic, man. You got to allow him to have the mic.
Doesn't his voice sound very crisp?
It does.
I bet it does.
Owen, when they're done, you're going to send us a commercial break.
Yeah, you're going to
fly me to the moon. Let me play.
Anthony, what do you predict the score is in game 6?
I think Paul Maurice gonna get their guys back to playing the way they play hockey. I think they're gonna pack it in. I'm gonna say 3-1 Florida.
I think the momentum sticks with Edmonton and McDavid keeps riding out this wave. I got the Oilers winning 4-2 back at home, forcing a game 7 back in Florida. But we'll go to Owen now to send us to commercial break.
Thank you for listening to this segment of the Mediocre Men podcast. We're about to take a break real quick. When we come back, we'll be talking about Anthony's degenerate bets of the week, Owen's rant. We're going to sprinkle a little bit of fun in there. So we'll see you back in a minute.
All right, people. Welcome back to my degenerate bets of the week. You know, we're slowly climbing our way back. We're at minus.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Owen. Thank you. But, you know, we're $100 off, climbing our way back. So this one's going to make a lot of money this week, I think. So the first one we got Poland beating Austria, and we got Slovakia beating Ukraine. Place a $10 bet on that. The odds are 13.06 to win a whopping $130. If that one hits, we're back. We're back, baby. Then the second one we got Spain versus Italy and Netherlands versus France. Both of those games over 2.5 goals. Another $10 bet plus 320 odds to win $32. And then the last one we have, I said it earlier, Florida. Florida's going to come back strong. They're going to win. I got Florida's money line. Another $10 bet plus 105 to win $10.50. So, again, stay with me, people. Stay with me. I'm coming back strong. Thank you.
Oh, wishbone.
Don't say welcome back because my outro was saying we're gonna come back with Anthony's degenerate bet of the week, my rant and the thing. So make it sound like we're like easing our way from Anthony's rant. So don't say welcome back. You know what I mean? Thanks.
Okay. Tino, that was the intro. We're going to get right into it right now. Basically, what we've done here is we went golfing the other day and we filmed a few holes. There's going to be a lot of content coming on the channel. But for this video, we did a closest to the pin challenge. I quickly just clipped some of the shots. We're going to watch it right here, right now. And we're all going to just watch and talk about it.
Yeah, we're all going to watch it right now. I'm pulling the video up. Here we go.
Oh,
and the video's up. Owen Anderson at the tee box. Sniped down the middle of the fairway. Or where did he get on the green?
No, he's in the pot.
Well, that wasn't a good shot. That wasn't a good first shot for Owen. Anthony, Mr. Olivera, did you have a good shot here? I'm like looking really closely.
Of course
Did you
I
get on
did.
the? You got on the green?
Of course I did.
Yeah, there
Let's-
it is. That's pretty
There
tight.
we go. Anthony gets on the. Actually, that wasn't far away from the hole there. Now Owen Anderson back up again. Are we going to see another shankopotamus from Mr. Anderson?
I think we lost the ball in this one.
I don't know where-
It's
I
right-
don't
it's
know where
right
the
in
ball
it's
ended up.
right in the front of the green.
Oh, guys, Mr. Kane. Oh, what a swing!
No,
That's a
no,
Charles-
no,
that's
no,
No,
no.
it's short. It's short. It's actually out of
That's a
focus.
Charles Barkley swing right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I had to go again.
Another one.
That was
Straight in the water.
Look at that bet.
Who's running the video?
That was I take accountability
This is
there.
my third one. This is my third
Ben-
one.
Ben,
It was
third
short.
time's the
into
charm.
water.
It keeps going.
Oh, what is this panning?
I never said I was good at filming. Okay.
A hand up accountability here. I think we need some hands up accountability for Mr. Olivera.
Hey, we got it, guys.
Yeah.
I think for our next set of videos that we get, I think we need to get more comfortable around a camera. Because it felt like I had a million. It felt like I had a million eyes watching me.
Tino, you should have seen it. I was teaching him how to hit record.
Hey,
It was
I did get used to it after it.
Hey, listen, like we always say, we're mediocre in some things. It happens. We're not going to be great at everything, man. It's just the way of the world.
I will say thank you for being very delicate with my camera, because
No
if that
problem.
thing breaks,
No problem.
I will die.
Yep. No problem.
Ben will have problems.
I will have
And-
lots of problems.
Lots of problems. And speaking of problems, Owen's got a problem with something as he always does this week.
Look at that cross.
Owen's rant of the week. I'm putting you on the ISO cam, buddy boy. Take it away, Mr. Anderson.
So I'm slowly realizing week by week that I'm getting a little less, how you say, hostile. But I find every week that something just tickles me the wrong way. So this week, so I said earlier in the podcast that I made a TikTok, and there was like really good comments. It was like people agreeing with me. It was people being like, doing like a cool little like, hey, like, actually, no, let me rephrase this. Some people, I guess, just didn't watch the video because some of the comments they were leaving, it was like you could have sworn they didn't watch the video, because they just were commenting stuff saying that I didn't bring up something that I said. So I guess that's where I'm going with this is, before you call me out and you tell me that I did not say something, you fact check that information, because I'm done with this. And then also, I think the TikTok slander is slowly catching up to the Instagram slander. It's not nearly as bad. The comment sections are not nearly as grotesque, but they'll take shots at you. Like I said, I believe it was from our second episode. I think either Ben or Tino clipped me talking about something, and some guy had the audacity to say, "What are you filming and recording this on? An iPhone 5? And hand up accountability, that's on me. I need to be better." But look, dude, my first podcast. What come on. We can't be cordial here. What are we doing? I want to be nice to you. I want to have nice little conversations with you. And I realize this week it's not really a rant, but it's more of me just saying, how about you look and listen to what the fuck I said? Because quite frankly, you guys not listening to me pisses me off. It really rubs me the wrong way, because I take the time out of my day to let you guys know. And then I said, another thing, I said I was trying to like flare stuff up, make it seem like cool and new information. I said, I just woke up and this bombshell of news dropped. And then some guy said,
I saw this comment, bro.
This is not a bombshell thing. We've known this for weeks. It's called spicing up the fucking news. Can you just let it happen?
What was the comment? Like,
It
what
was
it
literally.
about?
It was literally. The guy said, "This is not bombshell news. We've known this for like 2 weeks."
What was the news?
That who was announced for the U.S. Olympic team. So you know what I did? I deleted his comment.
You delete, dude. I went back to go find it. I can't even find the comment.
Yeah, it pissed me off. Like I said.
That's fair. That's fair, man.
Hey, be cordial, be nice, don't be an asshole, and then we'll have really good talks. And then I went back, and all the people that were nice, I went and I responded to their comments. I was all buddy with them. They were nice. I was nice. It was a nice like debate. It wasn't even a debate. It was just
nice.
It was nice to talk about something without some asshole intervening, saying some dumb shit.
Why are you looking down?
Look him in the eyes, Owen. Look him in the eyes. There we go.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
There it is, Mr. Anderson.
The comment was from a guy named Scribbles, and the exact quote is, "Bro recording on an iPhone 5." So then the account, the Mediocre Men account, actually just someone who I don't know who it was, but just comments under it. Check out the new episode this week. You got a shout out.
All respect to you. Just don't say that shit again.
Shout out my main man Scribbles, baby. And I think, listen, that's gonna do it for Owen Grant of the week.
Scribbles makes me want to dribbles.
That's all that needs to be said. Scribbles, like he said, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I didn't like that. Tino got too close on that one.
Hey,
and that's
check
all
yourself before you wreck yourself.
Oh, and that was good. Tino, I didn't like it.
There you go, Ben.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm going to close it. We've been your Men of Mediocrity. Owen, sing us out.
Fly me to the moon. Let me play among the stars. I don't know the lyrics, but I want to serenade you all. Have a good night, and thanks for listening to the Mediocre Men podcast. Yeah.